Today, I'm going to be sharing a stewardship moment about serving in a ministry in the church and missions in the world. Many of you know who Joyce Meyer is, and she was somebody who was kind of near and dear to me as I was growing in my faith. She authored many books, The Battlefield of the Mind, Beauty for Ashes, and of course she had, or still has, a TV show, Enjoying Everyday Life. My grandmother used to play that in the background almost every time I was at her house, and she had books and just she really spoke to my grandmother, and so I kind of, I heard her a lot, and a lot of the things she was speaking about God really struck with me, and I continued to listen to her, and she had an influence on my faith walk. So when I went off to college, I went to a Christian college, and as you might imagine, it was full of young Christians yearning to find their calling from God. And we all prayed with each other, and we sought advice from mentors and professors, and naturally, many young adults there would arrive at their calling before our 4 years were up. But I would stay up and pray at night and ask God, what is my calling? And I had this feeling that I was going to be the next Joyce Meyer. But we all know that that didn't happen. And you can feel free to giggle at me because I really, at the time, truly thought that that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a speaker. I'm going to speak for God. I'll bring people to Christ through talking or, I don't know if I thought televangelism, but her name would come to me and I'm like, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. And like I said, we all know I didn't become the next Joyce Meyer. I teach pre-K and I teach music. And I discovered quickly through my college journey that life did not go at all how I had thought God intended it to go. In fact, after college, I felt that maybe God didn't have any calling for my life at all. And as adult responsibilities took over and I became more busy with my life, I drifted from all of my direction towards service to God. And life became really only about me and my family, and I was drowning in worldly things and losing sight of my calling or purpose. But now over 13 years have passed since I graduated college. And at some point along the way, I dropped the Joyce Meyer dream. Not to say that it can't happen in the future. I mean, God puts desires on our heart for a reason, but I learned that your, or our calling is not to be a certain thing, but it is to serve and to serve God. And how can I serve God right now? Not when you're older, not when you're younger, smarter, healthier, but right now. There's so much growth that happens in our faith, and we will always be learning, changing, and hopefully growing closer to Christ. But how can we be in service to God right now? Mark 8:34 says, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." To serve God, we need to put aside our own wants and desires and our ideas and commit them to Him. Maybe I wanted to be Joyce Meyer to glorify me and not Christ. Our service should be about others. It took me a long time to get to the point where I could say, God, use me right here and now, as I am, how you want me. And for me today, that's not being Joyce Meyer. For me today, it's doing the liturgy at church, or serving at Rip It, or serving at the food pantry, being a faithful worker in my job, being a testimony to others, praying for people, teaching my children about God, and helping a neighbor, being with a friend that needs encouragement. Where's God calling you to serve in church and in the world today? God doesn't need another Joyce Meyer. He needs us to be the hands and feet of Christ. I encourage you today to pray about where God would have you serve. There are so many places in the church where people are needed. Maybe it's ushering or greeting or putting on a dinner or fundraiser. Maybe it's starting something new. Whatever it is, when God calls you to do it, you will be a blessing to others, and you will bring people to the kingdom and the love of Christ. And that's the end of my written paper, but it's just really about, I always just thought that it was about where God was going to get me, where I was going to end up, and then I'd I'd arrive and I'd do what he wants me to do, and it would be amazing and everything would be great. But now that I've matured in my faith, it's every step of the way that we're with God. It's the good times, the bad times. It's every moment that our eyes should be fixed on him, and us saying, where do you need me? Because there's always someone that God wants us to help. There's always someone that we can reach out to and be a testimony to and a witness to, and to serve him. Even if you think you're not enough, you are. So thank you for listening, and have a good day.